Hello, welcome to your trustworthy medical YouTube channel. I'm Dr. Derek Liao, and today we are going to review 5 of the best countries and 5 of the worst that have handled this pandemic. So if you want to learn about that, stay tuned. Okay, let's begin. Well, in this video we are going to review 5 different countries as the best ones and 5 different countries as the worst that have handled the pandemic. The 5 best countries will be Vietnam, Taiwan, Australia, New Zealand, and Singapore. They are going to be in our 5 best countries. And the 5 worst will be USA, Brazil, UK, Mexico, and Italy. I just want to point out that in today's video, we are not going to talk about any politics. We are going to actually talk about the numbers, about how many cases they have, how many tests they have done, and we are going to see if actually there's a difference or there are some similar features that have them, like the worst and the best countries. So let's begin. First of all, we are going to use our working data. Our working data, if you don't know, is actually a very good website that you can look for a lot of data, but in this case they actually they update every day the COVID-19 new data around the world, and it's very trustworthy. First, we're going to see the numbers, the absolute numbers, like the cases that every country has. So let's check over here, total cases so far. As we can see here in the left column, we have United States that now they have almost 12 million cases. So that's a lot of COVID-19 cases. Brazil is the second one from this list with around 6 million cases. UK with 1.47 million cases. Italy 1.35 million cases. Mexico 1.03 million cases. I didn't say Panama, but because I'm from Panama, we are going to review actually Panama, and we have 152,000 cases. Then Singapore with 58,000, Australia 27,000, New Zealand 1,000, Vietnam 1,000, and Taiwan 600 cases. But you will say like, hey, every country have a different population. Like, for example, how can you compare United States that they have more than 300 million people with New Zealand that they have almost 5 million people? Well, actually we are going to review it per million people. What does that mean? That means that we are going to divide the cases in every country by their population, and we are going to multiply it by 1 million. So that's a way to compare really good each country, and we can see if there's some similarities or difference between them. Before that, we're going to see also the deaths, total deaths, because it's very important, because there are life lost because of this pandemic. United States is the first one with 250,000 of deaths reported. Brazil 168,000. Mexico with 100,000, UK 54,000, Italy 48,000, Panama, my country, we are very close to 3,000, Australia 900, Vietnam 35, only 35 reported deaths, Singapore 28, New Zealand 25, and Taiwan 7. Okay, let's check it by their population. Total cases per 1 million. Over here, we can see that from these 11 countries, actually United States is the first one. The second one is my country, Panama. Brazil is the third one. Italy the fourth. United Kingdom is the fifth. Then Singapore, the sixth. Mexico is the seventh with 7,000 per million. Australia, New Zealand, Taiwan, and Vietnam. You will say like, hey, what happened? Because we were saying like the first 5 best ones are Singapore. Singapore is between the 5 best countries, and Mexico is in the group of the 5 worst. But right here we see that actually it's not that case. Well, it depends. It depends on how many tests you do. Maybe you are missing some cases. So the most valuable data will be the deaths that are reported, total deaths, and now we can see that a different panorama. Italy is the first one with 800 deaths per million. UK almost the same. Brazil, Mexico, United States. We can see the trend here. The 5 worst countries that have handled the pandemic in this group. Panama is another one. You see, Panama is in 679 deaths per million cases, and there's a huge gap after Panama, because you see Australia goes down to 35 deaths per million cases. New Zealand 5, Singapore 4, Vietnam not even 1, and Taiwan not even 1. So let's see the graphics actually. Here in our working data, they have a tool called Data Explorer, where you can see what's happening with different countries. If you want to see more countries, you can put it here. If you want me to review your country, you can write it in the chat so we can check it also. Okay, let's see by confirmed cases with a 7-day rolling average, and let's check per million people. As we can see, confirmed cases per million people. As we can see, Italy right now is the worst one. Here you can see that the trend between March and April, it was the first wave of the pandemic in Europe. Actually, you can see it clearly in Italy, and right now they are very high. They are worse, we could say, than in the first wave, because in the first wave they got up to 100 per million cases, and now they are over 500. That's a lot. The second one would be United States. As you can see, United States, they have like almost 3 peaks. Somebody said like, this is a third wave, but actually they haven't gotten to like almost 0. So we could actually say that this is almost the same wave. When you say the wave, it depends on what you do. Like the countries, what they do. If they mitigate, like they suppress the COVID-19, like almost no cases, like when it happened in Europe, that they have a lot of cases in February, March, April, and then in the summer they have almost no cases, and now they have another rise. That's typically another wave. In this case, the second. It's different from United States, that they made their lockdown, but they open very early. The next one is United Kingdom, that has a similar trend like Italy, because well, they are in Europe. You see a first wave, and now they are in the second. Panama, as you can see, my country, we don't have a very defined graphic. We can see that we went up to almost 300 per million, and now we are in an uptrend also. You can see Italy is an uptrend, USA in an uptrend, UK uptrend, Panama. Brazil is actually looks like it's in a downtrend. Big first wave. Mexico is very low, but as I told you, when we are talking about cases, it depends a lot about how many tests are you doing. New Zealand, as you can see, that's the first country that we are talking about that is in the group of the best countries that have handled the pandemic. The line is almost straight. You don't see barely any case. Singapore, they had a first wave, and now they have almost no cases. Australia is almost the same. They have a very shallow first and second wave, if we can say. Vietnam is almost a straight line. Taiwan is the same. So let's see about the confirmed deaths. What's the difference? Italy, as you see, in the first wave, when we were actually learning about COVID-19, how to handle, how to take care of the patients, the first wave was very, very bad, and a lot of people died. We can see that they went up to 12 deaths per per million people. But now they are also in an uptrend. United Kingdom is following Italy, as you can see. It's also in an uptrend. United States, United States is actually also in an uptrend, but it doesn't look as similar as United Kingdom or Italy. We have to wait a few weeks more. Mexico is also very high, almost 4 per million people. Brazil, it looks like it was in a downtrend and now it's getting up. Panama, it looks like we are very stable. Vietnam, okay, we are in another level right now. As you see, it's a straight line. We don't see any wave, anything. That's why they are in the group of the best countries that have handled the pandemic. Australia right now is a flat line. New Zealand also. Taiwan, Singapore. But let's see, maybe we could say like, okay, some countries, they have more money, they have more resources actually to handle the pandemic, to more resources to put in practice, to buy tests. Let's see. Here in our working data, they have different, as you can see here, you can choose like different things to select the country. Right now, I want to see the, it's over here. Let's see, GDP. That is that it tells the gross domestic product. That it tells you actually how rich or how poor a country is. As we can see in this group, Singapore is the number one. Then United States. Remember, Singapore is in the best ones. United States is in the worst ones in our group. The second, Australia, United Kingdom, New Zealand, Italy. Then Panama, Mexico is in the lower. Brazil, Vietnam, Taiwan. As we can see, Vietnam is a very, very poor country. But it is in the group of the best. They have a population of 95 million people. But how many deaths do we say that they have? Let's see it again. Total deaths. 95 million people they have. Okay? And Vietnam only have 35 deaths. And they are a poor country. So, what have they done good? Let's see the tests. We were talking about tests. Let's see how these countries are doing. Daily new COVID-19 tests per 1,000 people. As we see, actually, United Kingdom is doing more tests and it's very high. Then Singapore, Italy comes third, United States. Actually, the countries that we were telling that they were the worst are doing a lot of tests. Panama. Then it comes Australia, New Zealand, they are doing less than before. Brazil, we don't have enough data. Mexico, they are doing almost no tests. Vietnam, very low, and Taiwan. But why? Well, remember, they have controlled the pandemic. But there's another feature that I want you to see, very important. That is the share of positive tests. That means how many positive tests comes from all the tests that you do. For example, like if I make 100 tests, how many tests? Like 1%, 10%, 20% comes positive. And here's the main difference. Actually, as you see, Mexico, that is one of the worst in our group. We told that they are doing not a lot of tests, but when they do the test, the positivity share is very high. As we can see right now in the 7-day rolling average, is over 70%. So from every 10 tests that they do, 7 comes positive. I want to clarify something, or I want to point out what does that mean. When it's good or when it's bad. If you have a high positive share, it means like more than 5%. That's the threshold according to World Health Organization. You have a lot of tests. It means that actually you are not identifying enough cases because you're only doing the test to people that are more obvious, like for example symptomatic patients. And in these pandemics, we know for a fact that as asymptomatic patients also, or asymptomatic people, can also transmit the virus. So these are the non-so obvious cases, and we need to make a test to these people. So if you make more tests to people that is asymptomatic, you are going to have more negative cases, obviously, because the probability of they being positive, you don't know, it's lower than somebody that already has some symptoms like fever, cough, shortness of breath. So in this place, we're seeing Mexico, they have a high positivity share. Another is Italy. Remember, these are in the group that we have put them as one of the worst countries that have handled the pandemic. Italy, high positivity share, almost 20. United States, Panama, United Kingdom, as you see, almost 10. You see all of these countries are, except Panama because we didn't put it in our group, but Mexico, Italy, Panama, United Kingdom, they have a high positivity share. And the countries that we have in the best ones, like Taiwan, you see, almost no positivity share. Vietnam, very low. Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, it's a flat line. So that means that they are doing a lot of tests. Well, we saw that they are doing more tests than they need. So they are doing to everybody that they don't even have any symptoms, and that's why they are having a lot of negative. But when they identify a positive, and they do it very early, they can isolate it on time. And the other countries, the pandemic has gotten so worse that maybe they don't have the capacity to do enough tests to do it to the entire population and control the pandemic. So this is really important. As we saw before, we said that some of these countries within the test, the ones that are doing more tests, United Kingdom, Italy, United States, they are doing a lot, and the other countries are doing less, the good ones, Vietnam, Taiwan. But it is because they have actually controlled the pandemic. Now they need less tests because they have less cases, a lot of less cases. It's not the same like you have daily like 5,000 new cases. You need to do more than 5,000, more than 10,000 tests per day. But if you only have one, or like countries like New Zealand, Vietnam, that's something they report, or Australia that they report they have no cases in the entire day, even if they have millions of people, it's because actually they have controlled it. Okay, I want to show you another. Let's say hi first here in the chat. Say hi to Victor Serracin, that Diego Victoria and Cynthia de la Cruz Pinto, that they are following our streaming. They say they want to review Panama. Yes, we are reviewing Panama. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Remember that we are going to have more streaming like this during the next weeks. If you want to review any country, you can write here in the chat. I'm going to be reviewing it. So if you like this streaming, comment below. If you want to review anything else, please comment below. Now let's continue with another tool, very interesting actually. If you haven't seen before, it's endcoronavirus.org. This website summarize like every country, and they put like one simple question. They say, which countries do best in beating COVID-19? Some are winning, some are not, and they classify them. Okay, like here, countries beating COVID-19. All the countries that are beating COVID-19, they put it like in a green line, and we can see their graphic. Like Australia, we can see they have some cases, and now they are flat. So Australia is in the countries that are beating COVID-19, Barbados, Bhutan. Let's continue. Iceland, Laos. New Zealand, that was one of the countries that we were talking about. We have to point out that actually these graphics are not in the same dimension. They only show you the trend in that country. Let's see another. Singapore, according to them, is beating the COVID-19. Taiwan and Vietnam. Now, they have another countries that are nearly there. So they are actually doing it, controlling, but they need a little bit more. Okay, Bolivia, China, Israel, Qatar. There are not a lot of countries that are nearly there. But let's see. Countries that need to take action. As we can see, there are a lot. They are almost all of them in an uptrend. As we can see here, Brazil, as we were saying. Another one that we were talking about. Let's go down. As you can see, there are a lot of countries from Europe over here. Italy, as you can see, we saw it. It's a huge uptrend. Another country over here, Mexico. Panama, my country. We are almost in a, as we can see, this was our peak in the beginnings of the pandemic. Now we are going an uptrend. Very sad for my country. Okay, Spain, Sudan, Sweden, USA. As you see, they are in, like, every day they are doing a record. It's daily records of new cases. Actually, United Kingdom also in an uptrend. Now, they have an interesting tool for all the people from USA. They see U.S. states and territories. Let's see what's happening in United States. You know, it's in the news, like, pandemic is very bad over there. But actually, United States is very big. They have almost 330 million people. And they have a lot of states. So what's happening over there? They have the same question. Which states and territories do best in beating COVID-19? It's very easy. Let's see which are the best. States and territories beating COVID-19. There's only one. They say Virgin Island. States and territories that are nearly there. Well, actually, they have no country, no states or territory. States and territories that need to take action. All the rest. This is worrisome. This. As you can see, all the states, they are in an uptrend. We are going to scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. All the states in the United States are doing very bad. Daily records, as you can see. New York, that was the state that was hitting the worst in the beginning, now is also starting a new uptrend. As you can see, United States is actually, they need to take action to do this. They need to do more tests and isolate people very early. Okay, let's see the chat. If you have any question, you can write it over here. I want to say this is the first streaming. Actually, let's see any question. So far, no question. Okay. I want to say thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, give a like to this, share it so more people can watch this. We're going to have more live streamings very soon. We're going to talk about different topics. So thank you and have a good day or a good night. See you.